What's up, y'all? We've got the Forward Scout in the house today. How are you?
Good, Toby. How you going, mate?
Really good. This is Duncan Bell, everyone. This is...
Hello, everyone.
Well, everyone, this is Duncan Bell.
Hello, everyone.
So Duncan actually, really kind of cool story, but kind of like weird story. We've been living parallel lives. And it only up until he landed here, literally sitting next to me just outside here, at Creative Cubes here in Cremorne, did we come to this realization. So if we just back it up a little bit, I'm originally from Sydney, Duncan's originally from Melbourne. Toby moved to Sydney, Toby moved from Sydney to Melbourne.
I went the other way, Melbourne to Sydney.
We live in the same suburb today.
Yeah, suburb I grew up in.
So,
and around the corner.
And we holiday in the
Also
same
around the corner.
Same neighborhood, same holiday locations.
Switch the cities and you've got a parallel life.
Not only that, Mr. Forward Scout over here is into branding, marketing, digital.
Brand strategy and market research. So everything up to the point at which the creative team come on board and paint the magic that people get to see out in the real world and all over the place. We go through the strategic thinking for them to get to that point.
So would you consider yourself back end?
Hidden, invisible in some ways. So
I consider myself front end, but in a very similar light, building brands, expanding thoughts and ideas and bringing those things to market and breathing life into those things.
Yeah, and I think that's what consumers see is absolutely fundamental to the experience they have with the brand. But before you get to that point, there's a lot of thinking that goes into it.
Yep.
Which is where we come in. So we'll go out and we'll do a bit of a dirty word, market research. Really, I call that sort of a bit of cultural anthropology.
Yep.
In some ways, it's going out and trying to understand how people, consumers, or people, how they're thinking, feeling, and acting.
Yep.
And then that can then be fed back through strategic thinking and synthesizing all of that information that we gather out in the real world back to our clients, to brands, whether they're starting out, trying to understand who they are and how they fit into the world as startups, like many in here at Creative Cubes, or more mature brands that have been around for a long period of time. They might sense competition's coming and need to reposition.
So on that, because I'm a person that loves disruption.
Mm-hmm.
I love the old guy sitting on top of the hill. I love the David and Goliath story, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find a lot of the brands that you're consulting for now, or redoing or remapping their brand architecture, are they, and I'm not trying to expose any clients, but are they rejigging because they have a sense that they need to be new age, or are they rejigging because they're shit scared of the dude that's coding in the garage that's going to absolutely annihilate, i.e. Instagram annihilating Kodak?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really interesting question. Are they on the front foot?
Yeah.
Or are they reacting? And I think that there's probably a range of them out there.
Yeah.
I think some of the bigger clients, some of the bigger brands out there, sense that there are these challenger brands coming in who have incredible agility, they've got less at stake, and they can move a lot faster, and they can outmaneuver some of the larger brands.
One of the quotes that I love the most, and I don't like just pushing out quotes for the sake of pushing out quotes, but it's not the big that eats the small, but it's the fast that eats the slow.
Yeah. And
so some of these big businesses today, well, not necessarily today, but they can't. They're very much like Shaq. They're big and they're dominant, but they can't turn on a dime.
Yeah, but then at the same time, don't discount the things that they have. The smaller, more agile brands perhaps don't have the salience and recognition that they have built, the equity that they have built into their brand names, into their brands, is substantial, and that translates down to market penetration and how much how present they actually are in the world. It's a really interesting question, the idea of brand resilience, both at a small scale, building brand resilience or resilience into a brand at a start, and then looking at more mature brands and how they maintain relevance and are resilient and relevant for the future.
Yep.
And it's actually something that, it's kind of unfortunate that I've come on so early, and I want to come back and share what we find. But in our name, Forward Scout is this idea of forward.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that we're really passionate about, and we're in the process of exploring right now, is how a brand can be present in the future.
Yep.
And have that relevance and resilience. And not just small brands that are starting out, but those that have been around for a long period of time. How do they maintain what they've got and stay competitive and on the front foot?
I love it, and we've had a lot of healthy discussions just sitting side by side with one another for the last few weeks. Forward Scout headquartered out of New South Wales?
Yeah, so we're a reasonably small agency, a boutique agency. We operate with a few good people.
I hear boutique come out of your mouth, but what resonates with me is agility.
Agility, yeah, and every challenge that we face, every opportunity we help to surface for a client, we're just done in a bespoke way, so we tailor everything that we do. But yeah, absolutely, a small and agile team.
Love it.
And our original office, our headquarters, is up in Sydney. We started a little over 3 years ago.
Yep.
Have built a good bank of clients over that period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I've come down here back to Melbourne, doing the reverse of Toby, to launch us to service the clients we have at the moment, but also look for opportunities in Melbourne. There's some great companies here. There's some great startups, a great spirited community in here that I've been really excited to have been a part of for only a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But it definitely feels like a lot longer,
in
a positive way.
No, definitely. I mean, we come in and challenge each other on the sneakers as well every day. It definitely
I don't know
feels...
who's winning today.
I don't know.
I got the colour thing going on today.
Yeah, I like the New Balance. But, you can tell my shoes have always got the swoosh on them. From a brand
loyalty. Oh, look, Nike's just incredible. I mean, to the level of innovation that they have in their business and the ability to have overcome a huge bit of adversity back in what was the late 80s, early 90s, which sweatshop labor.
MJ turned it around, right?
Mm.
Michael Jordan turned it around for them in a big way. Like he was their first athlete that they signed. And they started going in that whole athlete direction.
Yeah, well, I mean, their line of "Just Do It" is a great line that has stood the test of time, and it's got that energy and determination built into it, which I think Nike is synonymous with. And then they've been able to tap into lots of different markets, reinvent themselves. In the 21st century, they're really tapping into that trend of activewear as well.
Yeah.
Which has seen the birth of, Lululemon and Lorna Jane, for instance, locally, really, get some steam. Nike's been able to leverage that and go from just being a brand for athletes to a brand for, every day, but, really stylish.
You talk about, we've healthily spoken off camera about brands and all the rest of it. Like for me, Nike is a company that not only has stood the test of time, but has really cemented in my mind as category leader. And a great example, I got hundreds of shoes, probably not as many as you, but probably up there close enough too.
I think we're probably close to each other on that one, yeah.
But I bought a pair of Adidas Gazelles in Venice over the summer, and I liked them. I saw them on the shelf. I grabbed them, went to the guy, size 10 US, thanks. But size 10 US, by the way, guys, if you want to send some shoes to try.
Size 10 US.
I told you.
Actually, I didn't know that. That's awesome. So now I've doubled my sneaker collection in this conversation.
Likewise. But picked up a pair of Adidas Gazelles, gave them to the store salesperson. I said, size 10, please. They grabbed them. You want to try one? No, thanks. Put them in my bag. I'll pay for them, put them in my bag, and left. I might give them to you. I haven't bought myself to wearing them purely because Adidas for me is not a category leader. And I know it's just 3 stripes versus a swoosh, and the shoes are really cool and really comfortable and awesome.
Yeah.
But when I go to leave the house,
Well, I mean that level of loyalty and personal identity that you've got built into the brand, that's something that all brands would love to get to.
Yeah.
To that point where you've made a choice to engage and consume that brand, but you've also rejected all the other brands out there.
It's like
it's a rare situation.
I went to buy the shoes. I bought the shoes. I paid the money for the shoes. Adidas won. I can't wear the shoes. I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not trying to be quirky and funny about it. I'm saying that for me as an individual, I pride myself on wanting to be the best. And if I can't be the best, then I don't want to play or I don't want to participate. I never want to show up half-assed, basically. And I genuinely put on these shoes maybe 2 weeks ago for the first time. I was like, these are awesome. Wore around the house, in the kitchen. Was about to leave the house. I mean, this may encourage psychologists to reach out and help me. This is not a shoe issue. Yeah, the brand, man.
Well, fashion is a category where so much personal identity is built into it as well. So the label, is an expression of yourself.
Yeah.
So in that respect, you've got that attachment to a brand because it's perceived as a category leader.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see whether that translates for you into other aspects of your life as well.
It absolutely.
Or whether it is something that is quite fashion centric.
No, I don't think it's got anything to do with fashion. Honestly, from my seat. But it's interesting. Like I had this conversation when I was a kid with an adult about if Coca-Cola stopped advertising today, they'd still smash it. And I got taught very quickly that no, if they stopped all advertising and stopped campaigning on everything, sales would plummet.
Yeah, Coke's really interesting. I mean, it's a classic example of if you got rid of all of the manufacturing and logistics and supply chain that Coca-Cola has today, you could rebuild that within a year or two and be back to where you were in sort of 5 years' time. But if the world had forgot overnight, had amnesia as to what Coca-Cola is, then that's where the value of the business actually lies, in that brand recognition.
Totally.
And it would take a lot longer for that to rebuild. So
It's
there's
amazing.
more equity and more value built into the brand.
And what's interesting, like I had kidney surgery in September of 16. I had kidney surgery, and I used to drink Diet Coke, thinking that was the healthy version, which is clearly not. But the doctor said, like, just cut back on, just go hardcore on the water. And now I look at people buying Cokes, and I'm not a judgmental person by any stretch, but I'm like, with all this education, they still manage to get sales.
Yeah.
Is it the fact that they have loyalty to the brand? Like someone used to say, "Oh, can I get you is Pepsi Max okay? Like, can you get a Diet Coke? Pepsi Max okay?" Hell no. Firstly, I taste it. It's very different, but Pepsi's not number one in brand, man. In my opinion, at that time, in that category.
Yeah. No, Coke's to explore, resilience in brands. One of the challenges that someone like Coca-Cola faces is a macro trend that almost sits outside of their category. So, I mean, their category is ready-to-drink beverages or soft drinks. The macro trend is a health trend that's happening, particularly in Australia and westernised nations. And that's a challenge that they're trying to face with an increase in the number of product lines that they've put out there as SKUs. I mean, they've refined it quite well into sort of 4 principal products, 3 of which are healthier alternatives that have got less sugar.
Yeah.
But it's a substantial challenge that quick service restaurants are facing as well. The likes of McDonald's, KFC, just a general trend toward healthy lifestyles presents challenges for established incumbent brands and opportunities for those that are willing to challenge the status quo.
It's amazing, and it'd be interesting. Like, we both got young kids, another coincidence. It'd be interesting to see how they feel once they have some knowledge about brands and products and all the rest of it. How they feel in their generation versus how we feel in our generation about certain category leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that has emerged over the last couple of years is the idea of brands that have got purpose built in, which is something that is appealing to the generation of consumers out there at the moment. You're not just buying what the product is or what they do or how they go about delivering the product, the service that they're delivering. But we're looking more and more for the reason why they do it.
Yeah.
So the heart, beating heart of their motivation. And brands like Patagonia are a really good example of a brand that completely bucked the trend of come and buy more stuff from us to one of we don't want you to buy anything from us. What we want you to do is bring back your old stuff,
sure,
and we'll repair it and we'll keep it going long term.
And that's actually, Patagonia is a great example. And I don't want to go too far off topic, but a guy walked in here the other day with a Patagonia T-shirt, and I kind of instantly understood who he was as an individual.
Yeah.
And what he was looking for because of that subscription, not paid subscription, but he subscribed to their mission and vision and through
wearing and engaging with that brand, engaging in it by, in this case, wearing their clothing.
Incredible.
He was buying into their vision of what the future would be. And I think that's a really valuable asset to have for a brand is a defined purpose, because it doesn't just filter through to the consumer, it filters through the whole organisation.
100%.
So if you can define that, it becomes a North Star, guiding star. And that's what we often help brands do, is to look from look at the inside, what's going on there, what's the truth, the inalienable truth that you want to hold on to and be known for in the world. Find something that's differentiated from the category as well, so you stand out in a meaningful way.
Yep.
And then find that sort of the consumer truth, that's the emotional appeal of what you do. And if you can find those three things, that to us helps define what your purpose is, and therefore your positioning and your reason for being. Yep. Otherwise, you're just another product out in a saturated market vying for people's attention. When that's become their most precious.
That's no way. That's no way to create longevity, right? So that's really cool. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to link Duncan's details. I'll link his LinkedIn so you can connect with him on a personal level. Also post information around Forward Scout. Yeah. By the way, I love Forward Scout. I love the fail forward aspect. I'm not sure if it's entirely in your brand, but the fact that you're constantly moving forward. And Scout, the thing about Scouts and whether or not this is something we haven't discussed, so I'm kind of going off topic a little bit. The Scout, in my mind, is someone that makes the world a better place.
Yeah, the Forward Scout as a name comes from, it's a military term actually, and it's basically those people that would be in advance of the front line, right? Yep. So the front line where the fight's being fought, and they go ahead of that, try and find out intelligence, try and find out information to bring it back so that you can plan for the future ultimately.
Very cool.
And that to us is what it's all about. It's about creating a strategy that can help guide what the future's going to be for a brand.
I love it. Guys, Duncan's details, Forward Scout details in the description below. Make sure you check it out. He's also based here at Creative Cubes. If you're in the neighborhood, you need some strategic advice, or you'd like to engage Duncan on a deeper level about what you're doing with your brand and how, or your mission and your vision, and how Duncan and his team of R&D and in-market analysis and support can justify or help you get up. A good guy, totally endorsed by me. Whether or not that means anything, I don't really know. But you guys keep watching, so I must be doing a good job. Duncan, thank you.
Thanks, Toby. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.